There were a couple people that were excused for this evening. I want to make sure they get it. So first things first, welcome. And I want to start off by acknowledging you guys for being here. Quite honestly, I know that there's 1,000 million other places you could be. There's 1,000 other things you could be doing right now. And I know we didn't make it optional. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But you made a choice to come out tonight and invest in yourselves and participate with the team. So I'm really glad to see you all. Sergio, come join us. I'm really glad to see you guys, and I'm excited to bring some value to you tonight. I got some really good stuff for you this evening. I do want to start off though just by apologizing to all of you guys. And I talked to Mylan about this morning, but some of you guys have noticed that Landon and I, we have not been the best version of ourselves really for the past 2 weeks. And some of you guys already know this. You've heard me say this before. But last week, both of our assistant managers were sick, like banned from the office sick. And I was running the entire show by myself. And the honest truth is I've been doing the best I can, but there were a lot of things that I was not able to do. And normally Landon and I complement each other well, but with him being completely dead, there was just some stuff that didn't get done. And I know some of you guys felt the repercussions from that. And then even the past couple of days, Landon's been dealing with some personal stuff and recovering from being sick. So even the first part of this week, we still haven't been operating at 100%. And this morning, I just want to own it publicly. Mylan and Kim came in for 10X this morning, and I did not. The honest truth is Tuesday was my anniversary, our 7th one, which is super exciting. Yeah, thank you for that. Many more to go, but good start, right? But my wife asked me to do something for her, and it was supposed to be done at 9. And I was like, great, I'm on board for that. And then it started at 9, and I was not on board for that. And I just completely missed the 10X this morning, and that was not my best self. So I called Mylan this morning, also called Kim, but left her a voicemail. But I just want to tell all of you guys, I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying it's okay, and I'm not justifying. All I'm asking for is that you understand where we come from. And I'm just asking for forgiveness. And now that Landon's back in action, my effort or my intention is, especially as we get into the SEC push, that I level up, that Landon levels up, and in the process, we assist you guys with your own level ups as well. So I did want to just start there. I will tell you this, though. One thing I do need from you guys is more communication. Okay, and I know, I get it, right? Number one, you guys hate the phone. I get it, right? You talk to customers on the phone, you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody else on the phone. And you talk to me on the phone too. Right. And in all honesty, we do the very best we can to answer all of your calls. And even some of you guys, like with Landon out this weekend, normally I take Saturday as an office day and then Sunday's my day off. And that was not the case this weekend. There were a couple of you guys that I answered the phone and you're like, hey, Landon. And I was like, no, actually. Right. One of you guys was like, wait, is this Landon? And I said, no, it's John. They're like, wait, hi. I get it. But what I will tell you, we do our very best to answer all of your calls, even if they come in at odd hours. But if we don't answer, all I'm going to ask is that you get really good at leaving us voicemails, because we simply can't logistically pick up every call, but we do check every voicemail. We clear our voicemails out at the end of the day, and we make notes. We have an online system that we use where we make notes like, hey, James left this voicemail. He needs this. So next time I talk to him, this is what we need to talk about, right? So if you get really good at leaving us voicemails, we'll answer as many of your calls live as possible. And we will 100% follow up on all the ones that we miss, as long as we get the message, But the honest truth also, we get literally no exaggeration. A slow day is 50 phone calls incoming, and a busy day. Actually, I'll tell you right now, on Saturday, I took about 170 phone calls last Saturday. This Saturday is going to be bigger because we're going to be adding between 30 and 40 new people to the team Friday. So if you don't leave a voicemail, I'm not being rude. I know some people if you don't leave a voicemail, I'm going to F that person. But when I tell you that, I'm being sincere. If you don't leave a voicemail, I just don't even know that you called. It gets buried real quick, Also, by the way, I'm pretty sure all of you guys are in our Slack chat. And if some of you guys have been using it really well, which is great. But if you're not in the Slack chat, make sure you tell me tonight. We'll get you in there, because that is just another method of communication where if we can't answer the phone and you need immediate assistance, you can put messages in there. And again, I can't promise that I'm constantly sitting down just looking at Slack all day, but sometimes we can get to you a little bit faster than waiting for us to clear the voicemail and talk to you next, Also, the daily call-in, some of you guys are doing really well with that, the 9 to 10 a.m. check-in. I know some of you guys, you beat me. You're calling into 8:50, and I'm still, all right, I wasn't ready yet. But between 9 o'clock and I do see that you call, 8:48 this morning. But if you call us between 9 and 10, in all honesty, like that time, I block that time. The only thing I do between 9 and 10 is answer your guys' phone calls. But also this morning, even this morning, I had a 10 o'clock meeting. So after 10, like I was in a meeting, and then I ran an interview for 3.5 hours today. And then I had a 45-minute break just to change into my Army clothes and just clear my head and not be in the room for a little bit. I took the bathroom key. I'm sorry for that. But to like not be in the room for just a little bit. I appreciate the concern. Mostly I just want to be outside for like a little bit. And in just all honesty, if you don't call between 9 and 10, just I get so swamped. I don't have the ability to call you. So some of you guys have been doing great. Like it's a habit. I appreciate that. But if you haven't been in the habit yet, please make that a thing that you call us between 9 and 10, because genuinely in some cases, that's the only time that I personally am able to talk to you for the entire day. So again, my intention, I apologize for all of my shortcomings this week. Actively working on being a better version of me. Also, I appreciate that Landon's alive again. I needed that in my life. But anyway, I also appreciate you guys, again, just for understanding and working with us. And my hope is that we work really well together. So that said, let's get into it. I have some recognition to do to start. So for this past week, our honorable mentions for the week, we had Trey Jones, first weekend, selling $585, getting halfway to his first promotion. Let's give him one clap on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Try that again. We had Gage Powell, $638. Well done. Let's give him one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, tight. We had Jaka. Sold $681. Let's give her one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. I also want to give Jaka special credit. She called in with a customer, and she's like, hey, I've got a customer. They're definitely interested in the essential set, but they also want the butcher knife. Can you help me work out a deal? And that was perfect because I had some options, right? So I presented her with 3 options, and then she was able to present them to the customer and close one. So sold her first set and almost like that close to her first promotion. We had Eli Lane, who, by the way, he's sick tonight. And if you're the praying type, pray for Eli. He's got a pretty big thing that's affecting football right now. So hopefully he's going to be coming back and rejoining us next week. But this week he's just trying to get healthy. Also, anybody sick is banned from the office until they're no longer contagious. But Eli Lane, $993 last week. So let's give him one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Struggling, man. So those are all the honorable mentions. Everybody over $1,000 in sales got their name on the Northeast Region newsletter. We had Andre Harrison at $1,245 in his first weekend. Let's give him one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Eye contact helps. And then we had Jeremiah Smith. Did not sell $1,245. He sold $1,667. If we can give him one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm glad we finished strong there. So that is our local office. Everything I'm going to put on the screen is our Northeast region. Actually, let me make sure I'm recording here. Yeah, I'm good. Just realized that I wasn't sure. This is our Northeast region. This is all of the teams that go from the very northern part of Virginia all the way up the East Coast into Maine. I highlighted in blue everybody from the DC Metro Division. These are all the people you're going to meet at our division meeting on Monday, and these are all the people that we compete with versus the Pennsylvania division, right? So they're all in blue. Yellow is people from our team here, which includes my office in Anne Arundel County, our branch offices in Easton, in Newark, and in Dover, and our district office in Southern Maryland and Waldorf. So I highlighted in yellow everybody from our district team, and there, when we get to the SEC conference, there's a trophy awarded for competing as a team together. And then in red, David Kirkner. I love David Kirkner, except for the 2 weeks that start on June 10th to June 24th. And there's 2 weeks I don't have a lot of love for David Kirkner, or I still love him, but maybe from afar. Right? But he's the guy, when we get to the SEC push, we're competing against every office and every team, and it is a free-for-all to an extent. But David Kirkner's the one I really want to take him down. With all the love and all the respect, we'll take him down because he's a former division manager. Okay, he's a Hall of Famer. He's over $20 million in sales. And he kills the game. In fact, he's got YouTube tutorials for managers. So people watch David Kirkner and learn how to become better managers. But I think we can take him down It's going to be tough, by the way. It's going to be tough. But when I was looking, last week, I was looking at every single office in Pennsylvania, and I was like, who's at a level, right? I don't want to pit us against someone we're just going to get stomped by, because that's not fun, right? I also don't want to give us an easy win. That's not fun either. But I was like, man, David, he would give us a run for our money, but we could do it, so I put him in red. Right. So anyway, we had Trent Saunders from Easton selling $1,000 in his first weekend. Go forward, please. Don't embarrass me. We had Jeremiah Smith and Andre Harrison and Fletcher Partridge from our Newark, Delaware office. And we had, as a region, 138 sales reps over $1,000 last week. Okay, and how do you get to $1,000? It's not hoping and wishing for $1,000. It's either one good appointment or 10 average ones. Or 6 average ones. So if you do the do 2, set 2, right? That program right there will net you $1,000 pretty dang consistently. On our silver standings, we had 64 sales reps over $2,000, and that's the do 3, set 3, working 5 days a week. You do that, you can pretty consistently bank on $2,000. Although yesterday morning, we had a girl from Baltimore who sold a signature set with steak knives on her 8 a.m. appointment. That put her over $2,000 for the day, and then she went on to sell over $5,000 in total because she had 5 appointments for the day. So Siggy set with steak knives, and then Heather Fitzgerald from the Frederick office just posted on our manager group chat that she had someone who sold an ultimate set, which is a $24.49, I think. Yeah, right. By the way, her office just opened 2 weeks ago, so she's like, "It's our first ultimate set." And I remember my first ultimate set; it was a good time, right? I remember the first one I sold and the first one someone I coached sold. Feels good. We had in our gold standings, that's $3,500 plus. We had 22 people sell $3,500 last week. That's do 4, set 4, working 5 days a week. And then we had in the platinum standings, 12 reps over 5,000. 2 of them went double platinum. And you can disregard the thing about Will Boynest. What I meant to do was put Jesse Eiler there. So Jesse Eiler started in our Frederick office. He did 20 appointments in his first weekend on the job. So I know some of us, we talked about that and then it didn't connect, but he connected, swung the bat, hit the ball, and sold $7,698 in his first 3 days on the job. Is already at 25%, which is the level when you're literally overpaid for the work that you do. And his first paycheck is going to be over $1,300, but under $1,400 for his first 3 days, which is the lowest paid 3 days he'll ever have in his career. So pretty dang exciting. By the way, you'll meet him on Monday. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So you'll meet him on Monday, which is fire. For the office teams, I wanted to share this with you. This always makes me aggressive, is what it makes me. Okay, so just so you guys know, this office is considered a pillar in the Northeast region. And every single year, without fail, every year, we get off to a slower start behind everybody else. And it pisses me off, by the way. I don't want that to be my life, but it's been my life for the last 4 years. Okay, every year. It takes us an extra 1 or 2 weeks to start really connecting and to get ourselves into the top 15. Okay. So by the way, the top row there, I don't know, it's a little small. The top office teams is the top 15 at any level, from brand new rookie office, a branch office run by a college student, up to the Hall of Famers, and everything in the middle. There isn't much else in the middle. And then the bottom one is the senior offices, which is an office that's been open for more than 1 year, which obviously we're in. So every year we always watch my frenemies stomp us for the first couple weeks of the summer. And then what always ends up happening, I'm hoping this week is the week, which is why I'm sharing it with you. But what always ends up happening is we bump ourselves into here. Okay, and we usually, right, it's not always even, right? But usually we end up somewhere in the bottom half, and then we end up dominating our category. And then usually by the 3rd week of June, we're dominating in the top 15. And then we're making a run. Can we get in the top 10? Can we be in the top 5 against all offices, right? So that's the target. And the goal this week is to get our name on the report. And just FYI, I say this every single time when it comes out. At the end of the day, my name is going to be the one on the report, but I'm not selling any knives right now. So when we get on there, it's not me. It genuinely is you guys. I'll sell knives after peak season. I was talking to someone about this the other day. I love selling Cutco. I sell about $15,000 a year. But there are times when the coach gets on the field with the players and you're doing it with them. And then there's times when the coach serves the team better by being on the sideline and giving coaching, and this is that time. So anytime our name is on the report, it's you guys. Okay. I do want to show you too. Hopefully, this makes you guys aggressive. Okay. I know I get aggressive with the Northeast Region newsletter. This is the national one. Just FYI, by the way, I'm not even competing with that, but just FYI, in all seriousness, the national newsletter at the office team level, it's not our category. Okay. There's offices that have 4, 5, 6 people like Ian Connors that are selling 60, 70, 80 grand for the summertime. They sell 14 to 15 grand per a week. And we just don't compete in that category yet, which is fine. We'll get those people. I know Landon's thinking about being one of those people. John Tevis, when he's back from Japan, will be one of those people. So we'll get there. But as of this year, just logistically, that's not our jam, right? But the top 20 personal sales category on the left-hand side, you guys can make a name for yourselves there. So this is the top 20. It took last week $7,606 to get on there. What's really cool is that person, if they were brand new, made $1,300 last week. So like the lowest paid person on that report made at least $1,300. If they were already at 30%, they made $2,100. And then if they were somewhere in the middle, they were somewhere in the middle. But the lowest paid person made at least $1,300. We had Jesse Eiler, number 18 in the nation. So he was, by the way, in the top 5 in the region, top 20 in the company. And then we had Jacob Smith from our Fairfield, Connecticut office, sold $8,300. So his paycheck's over $1,600. That was his first week on the job, closing out his fast start. And then if you look, we had 3 reps that didn't just sell $10,000 for their fast start. They sold $10,000 for their first full week of the fast start. Come on, right? That always fires me up, makes me aggressive because I'm like, oh, they're not better than me. All right, they just work harder. And then for the top 20 branches, these are college students running their own office. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Basically, you do a nice job as a sales rep in your first summer. You can get inducted into our leadership academy. It was Trey. Trey's nodding his head. And I was like, it was Trey. Yeah. But you do a nice job for your first summer as a sales rep. You can get inducted into our leadership academy program in the fall and the spring. Doesn't matter if you're not a student, if you're locally in college, you go away to school, doesn't matter. You can do our leadership training no matter what. It's like 90 minutes a week around school. Landon did it while he was in football season. If he can do that at a D1 football team, do it, right? But we teach you how to run an office. And there's 4 paths that Leadership Academy can lead to. One of them is essentially opening up your own office, but it's not doing what I do. It's kind of like the analogy I shared with Trey the other day. It's kind of like if I ran an ice cream shop and you were my best cashier or the best person at making the ice cream into perfectly round balls and then getting the sprinkles evenly spaced, right? Well, in the next summer, I would say, hey, I got an ice cream truck. I want you to take the ice cream truck to our best neighborhood. And you just work that one neighborhood, right? For 8 weeks, you're working the neighborhood. I'll stay here and man the main shop. And then that's what our branch managers do. But what's really cool is Everett Burns last year was the 3rd highest producing branch manager in the entire nation. And then this year he's doing it the 2nd time. So he's between his sophomore and junior years of college, and his team sold 13 grand almost last week. And then Paige Weber, she's the one. I mentioned some of you guys, I showed the video already of the interview with the guy who sold 20 grand in his fast start. That was Paige Weber's guy, right? So her and her team sold 23 grand top left. Number 2 in the entire country. And she's a sophomore in college, which is dumb. It's stupid, right? As a company, we sold just shy, aggravatingly shy of $5 million last week. And it's not even the SEC push yet. When we get in the SEC push, literally that report will double. And we're going to be hitting 7 figures pretty soon here, which is lit. Now, just making eye contact. I appreciate you for that. So I want to give you guys a couple announcements and contests. Is that okay? This, by the way, some of you guys, this isn't heavy note-taking, but some of the stuff you might want to write down. Because the honest truth is I'm probably not going to be promoting it every single week. But this one just got announced. It's the Century Club. Okay, you complete 100 appointments for the summertime. Okay, 100 appointments in 16 weeks. It's about 16 a week. There's no sales quota on this one. So you might end up selling. There's no possible way you sell 0. There's not a chance. If you're average, right, which I like to use the word mediocre, because average, I don't know. It means the same thing as mediocre, but mediocre has a little more sting to it, right? Mediocre motivates me to not be mediocre. But if you're mediocre, you do 100 appointments, you'll sell 20 grand and make 5 grand. Okay. And then if you're good, if you're good, you could sell 30, 40, 50 grand. Our record is John Tevis last summer did 100 appointments and sold $66,945 for the summer. By the way, he was already at 50% commission, so he made 33 grand. But even if he wasn't making half to get all the way there, he would have earned somewhere in the ballpark of between 15 and 20 grand-ish without doing all the math. But he made 33 grand last summer. Stupid. And you get all the benefits that come along with that. And you also get entered into a drawing for a $1,000 scholarship for school just for completing 100 appointments, which is lit. Pretty cool? So that's the first thing. Second thing, you guys fired up for the trip to the Bahamas? Actually, I have another contest for the Bahamas to announce. It's stupid. By the way, last year, some of you guys already heard this. We brought 74 people, or not last year, a couple months ago. We took 74 people to Jamaica. We overbooked our hotel and had to get a second hotel. It was awesome. And this year, our goal genuinely is to create 1,000 million different ways for you to win. Some people are going to sell 20 grand in their fast start. Some people are going to get 6 friends on the team. Some people are going to do the thing I just showed you. Some people will do the other thing we're going to show you on Monday. Yeah, I know. But our goal is to give you guys a lot of different ways to win, and different people will latch onto different ones. But our goal is to give everybody an honest shot where you're like, I could do that one, you know? But before I show you the new contest they just announced, can I show you what the Bahamas looks like? So they finally give us access to this. Landon and I saw it back in April, and we've been begging for weeks, please give us the video. They finally gave us the video. Play the video. Play the video. Where's the damn video? Son of a...
It doesn't really ever sink in. Noticing, realizing it for yourself. After all the packing, the goodbyes, the tears, the journey, the confusion, the shock, before finally stepping outside without a bag strapped to your back and breathing in a different air, a different time zone, a different culture. With the sun, it's a day, even a week. Some won't even realize until they get back to the 9-to-5 routine. If you go back, of course. You may walk into the office and your best friend at work will say, "What's new?" You need to stop for once. Because what you've just realized is that what you've done in the last few months was more than you've ever done in your life. It's a change. A realization that we are some of the luckiest people on the planet. To have the ability to sit in a metal tube for 12 hours, to touch down on the other side of the world, to be able to work for a few months and see these incredible places that some would only ever dream of seeing.
And I can't believe forever it seems you live that dream where you stop to think about taking a chance you can't give a damn. I'm always ready for the lot of simple out there with a little bit of luck and a whole lot of work. I think every one of these bitches feels so we don't care what you say, if we don't care what she wanna do, if we don't care about the end, what we do, what we want. I ain't wasting no more time. It's now or never. I'm about to get mine. It's now or never. I'm about to get mine. It's now or never. To decide if it's worth the fight or letting it slide, and I to the line, and wasting away or waiting to be saved. It's so good. It's so good. Good. Love that. By the way, for this one, some of you guys already told this too, but I'm bringing my wife on that one. So super excited to bring the squad. Okay, so you guys already know, if you sell 20 grand in your fast start, you win the Bahamas automatically. If you help us build a team and you recruit 6 friends onto the team for the summertime, you'll win a bunch of other prizes too, and you automatically win the trip to the Bahamas. Here's the new one they just announced this morning. It's from June 3rd to 17th. You sell $1,000 in a day. We call it a grand day because you sold a grand in a day. Yes, right? So from June 3rd to June 17th, you have a grand day, you get a chance in the drawing. You get 2 grand days, you get 2 chances, 3 of them 4 chances, 4 of them 8 chances, and then at the SEC conference on the 24th, somebody's going to win a trip to the Bahamas, and they don't even have to sell that much Cutco, which is stupid. It's dumb. And then they're announcing another one on Monday, which is ridiculous, but our goal is that we have to take over 2 hotels again. That's how we roll. Yeah, deep is the word. So, a couple quick things for the agenda. I know the majority of you, either me or Landon, we had a conversation with you this week, some of you guys last week, a couple of you today, about our SEC push that's coming up. You heard about this in the interview. I do want to make sure that you have the notes, or the dates. Okay, so this thing begins officially on Monday, June 10th, and it goes for 2 weeks, culminating on June 24th. So it's Monday to 2 weeks later on Monday. This right here is the single biggest competition of the entire year to date. I get fired up about the competition, you may have noticed. The purpose of it, though, isn't to beat up on people, although we do want to do that, right? The real objective, we call it the Elevation Conference for that exact reason. It's to elevate. It's to motivate and inspire and simply give you a new or another reason to work and to do quality work so that you get good, right? You'll accelerate your skills and elevate your ability to sell Cutco from the virtue of doing some 10X workshops and getting higher level training. And the job gets easier. You'll find it easier and easier to sell big orders, right? Or to turn some of what would have been a no sale into a sale, which ultimately means you don't have to work as hard, right? Everybody has to work hard when they're new to get the skill. Once you have the skill, it's permanent. Very similar to riding a bike. The other thing is that you're going to get some promotions. I was talking to Kayla the other day, and Kayla was asking like, hey, I'm really interested in management. What can I do? And we talked about, hey, just put together a couple $1,000 weeks, get some skill. But what's cool about the push is a lot of our top people will sell between 5 and 10 grand just in the 2 weeks, right? So instead of doing $1,000 a week and it taking 6 weeks to get their 25%, they'll just do it in 2 weeks, right? Because you accelerate. And then the cool thing is after the push is done, it's kind of like running a race, right? You run through the finish line, you take a breath, and then you don't stop running for the rest of summer, but you're not racing for the entire summer. You race for 2 weeks, and then running, it's easier to jog. Right? And then when you're at the jogging pace, you're at a higher percentage. So literally you make more money when you're working less hard because of the work you put in during the thing. And then to top it off, you also get recognition. There's prizes, there's trophies. You can win a trophy just for doing your job, right? There's a bunch of cool stuff that comes along with it. But we talked to a couple of you guys about joining our alliance. One thing I do want you to put in your notes that I'll be honest, I don't think in our conversations, I don't think is something we communicated very well. So let me just tell you now. Okay. Typically, what our representatives do during a push is if they're already on the do 2 set 2 or the do 3 set 3 deal, they typically just do 1 more demo per day and they work 1 more day per week. All right. So if you're currently in the spot where you're like on the do 2 set 2 and I'll do it 4 days a week, you just bump up to the do 3 set 3 and you do it 5 days a week for 2 weeks. That's it. Right, if you're currently on the do 4 set 4, but you're doing it 3 days a week and taking a 4-day vacation every week, you just do 5 step 5. You work 4 days and take a 3-day vacation every week. That's it. It's not like this monstrous, I need to sell my soul to Cutco for 2 weeks. Does that make sense? But it is a little bit more with the intention of getting good and being one of our key players on our team and also getting some cool stuff for yourself in the process, That's what that looks like. Now, we did put a couple of extra events in the calendar for this week, which Landon and I, despite him being sick and me being scrambled. We've been doing our absolute best to communicate this to you guys. Because honestly, I would have preferred if everybody knew about this a week ago, right? I hate to like spring stuff on you. So I was like, Landon, Landon came in today. And I was like, Landon, you got to make some calls like right now, right? But here's the deal. Here's what's coming up. So we have our team meeting tonight. Tomorrow from 10 to 1, we're going to do a list building workshop from 10 to 1. And I'll tell you the honest truth, I'm biased on this one. In my opinion, even if you're not doing the alliance, I think that meeting is valuable for every single player on the team. Because what I'll do is I'll teach you some advanced list building stuff, right? Kayla came in with Kim last week and got this early. So I'm not going to teach you anything new. But what I will do is I'm going to pay for White Pages Premium for every single one of you. Oh, it just got real. Okay, so some of you guys have been like, I wish I could have White Pages Premium, but $20. F that. Okay. I'm going to pay for White Pages Premium for all of you guys. You already paid for it for yourself. Good. That's what you should have done 2 weeks ago. Good. That's what you should have done 2 weeks ago. Right? But I'll pay for it because I want there to be no excuse. Right? Just FYI, part of it is I'll give you some actionable steps, like do this, do this, do this. And it won't just be, hey, here's the concept, go home and get it done. It'll be, this is what you do. I'll provide a lot more direction, which sometimes that's what you need in your life, you know? And then the other thing, I'll be honest, the value isn't what I'm going to teach you. The value is that you come to the office, kind of when you go to the gym, right? You can like, I don't want to work out. I don't feel like working out. I need to do this to myself tonight, by the way. I don't feel like working out. But if you put on your gym clothes and you go to the gym, you're not going to not work out. You know, so sometimes like I'm going to get my stuff together and go to the office, and for a couple hours, I'm going to build my list. And then you come here and it's like, all right, I guess I don't really feel like it, but I'll build my list. Right. So we'll just create an environment that is conducive for that. And by the way, I'll tell you, when you do this, and if you want to give yourself some notes, I'd recommend it to everybody. Even if you're like, I'm definitely not doing the alliance, it's worth your time to do this. But if you come, all you want to have is any resources that would assist you in building your list. Sometimes it's, hey, Mom, can you just share your contacts with me? And there's a way to do that, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, Mom, can you give me the address book? Can you give me your Christmas card list? Sometimes it's, hey, can I get a copy of my directory for high school, directory for football, directory for whatever, right? I know for me, by the way, I asked my wife about this, and I found out our neighborhood doesn't publish a directory. Like I got my mother-in-law's neighborhood directory, not even my neighborhood, but I got the directory. And it's literally a book, right? Some of you guys I showed the book to. I asked my wife about it. I said, hey, did we get that? And she goes, oh, no, it's all online on the website. And I was like, our neighborhood has a website? Some of you guys, this isn't news too, but like me, I was like, a neighborhood has a website? And she goes, yeah, we have a PIN, the login. I was like, we do? I didn't know. Right? And I was like, what's the login? But when you go in, it literally has a list on the website of all the homeowners, names, phone number, where they live, everything. So get that stuff. And the goal is that you get all of the resources you would use. So kind of like if you were going to the gym, you need to have your shorts, your shirt, your shoes, right? Whatever other accessories you might need. Don't wear gloves though. It's weak. But everything else besides the gloves. Sorry, appreciate you guys. Right, I can tell who's my jocks, right? Need the cows. It's important. It's important. Need those.
Don't wear the exo suits.
I wear gloves. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Can we jump on Zoom for the little lines?
Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, just bring all the resources you would need, kind of like packing your gym bag, right? What it's worth, I bring my yoga mat to the gym, so you know we all have our thing. It's cute. It's cute. But we all have our thing. But you bring all your resources, you come in, you're like, all right, I'm going to get what I need, I'm going to get the direction, then I'm just going to execute. But the goal there, and what we're looking for, is to get every single one of you, not just 30 to 50 numbers, but 100, 200, 300 numbers. Just get it all at once so that it takes all the stress off, right? In all honesty, the hardest part of the job is simply this. And it's not that it's hard to do, but it's the one thing where usually you have to do it on your own. And if you don't make yourself do it, there's no one to hold you accountable. And it is easy to let yourself off the hook. I like to use the phrase, it's easy to do, but it's also easy to not do. And here you come in, you're like, I'm going to get it done. Kind of like hiring a trainer. The trainer doesn't lift any weights for you, you know, but it's kind of like hiring a trainer. That's really all it is. Kayla Harris, by the way, has been phenomenal at this. Every single push, she's ever participated in, and she's already participated in over a dozen pushes. You won't meet her until Monday. Actually, she'll meet her on Monday, but she's running her branch office right now. We'll meet her on Monday. She'll be there. But when she comes in, she brings all of her resources and her Netflix password. and she plays Disney movies. She'll put on like Finding Nemo. Last time she did it was Little Mermaid. But that's what she'll do. She'll sit there and she'll just have the movie in the background, but she's working on her list, and every single time she does it for 12 consecutive ones, the smallest list she's ever put together was 100. The biggest list I've ever seen her put together was 350. And it's really just designed so you front load it, and then for several weeks, or in some cases a couple months, it just takes all the pressure off. You do it once for good, instead of having to rebuild your list every single week before every single phone jam or PSP meeting. Does that make sense, though? Mm-hmm. So that's the objective on Thursday. And again, alliance or no alliance, I'm biased. I think that has a ton of value for every player on the team. Then we have our alliance phone jam on Friday from 10 to 12 and on Saturday from 9 to 12. Neither one of those is mandatory, but the goal, the target, is that every single alliance member starts Monday, going into Monday already having 20, 30 plus appointments already lined up for the week, right? So instead of, hey, Wednesday I come in, I book my appointments to Sunday, and then Sunday I come in, I book my appointments to Wednesday, right? I'm doing little chunks. The goal is just front load the damn thing so that all you have to do after that's done, all the hard work goes here, the sweat is here. After that, you're just collecting your paycheck for the week. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? We just change the way that we approach the work is really all it is, right? Sunday, we're going to have an all-day phone jam. It'll be fun day. Sunday, fun day. Sunday, hell day. Depends on your perspective, right? But what we do there, I'm going to do some special stuff just for our alliance to make it worth your while. I'll buy some food for you guys. We have a break scheduled in the middle, which I'm thinking about Mm-hmm. Haven't had Ritas yet this year. Thinking about. Usually I'll give some Cutco away or some money away or both away. Try to give some stuff away, but I'll make sure it's fun and an enjoyable process. But again, the goal is to come in on Sunday, hit the phones, and just get all of our appointments booked up. So that's what we're looking at for the alliance. Does that make sense? Yep. Right. And again, when we get into our Monday, we have our division meeting on Monday. Make sure you have the time down. By the way, we covered this on Sunday too. We covered it on Monday for those of you that were there. So this isn't new, but I do want to make sure all of you guys have it, right? We're going to meet up here on Monday at 9 a.m. The meeting's in Baltimore. It's not far. We'll carpool. Let me try that again without the weird accent. The meeting isn't far. It's in Baltimore. We'll carpool. But we'll meet up here at 9 o'clock so we can get up there. The meeting itself is from 10:30 to 3:15. And what I'd recommend on Monday is don't book any appointments before 5:30. Okay? Part of it is, honestly, I don't think there's not a lot of traffic starting at 3:15. But it gives us the ability to, hey, even if we did hit some traffic, you're not going to be late, you know? And also, it gives you a chance where you can get some food and unwind. Personally, I love to do appointments after these meetings because you got some nuggets that help you get good. You're also motivated and excited. You're going to be surprisingly motivated for Monday if you're not even ready for it. But I never like to rush straight from there to an appointment. I like to have a little bit to like get myself together and then go crush the thing, you know? So that's what I recommend for Monday. And then just a reminder, everything you do from right now until Monday at midnight, that's what's on this coming week's paycheck, right? And then Tuesday is our first full day of the push, and we're doing 10X. I'm running 10X every day, Tuesday to Friday next week. And the alliance members typically come to 2 or 3 of those, right? So you pick your workshops, and then we're doing a normal meeting. The only other big adjustment to the schedule that I want all of you guys to be aware of is not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, not June 2nd, June something. June something. That sounds good. Let's call it the 16th.
Yeah, the 16th.
That's Father's Day. Okay, so what we're going to do on that day is we're going to change the phone jam or the PSP meeting from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And in my mind, there's very few people that like go out of town for Father's Day. It's really not a travel day. Sometimes, if we can be honest, you go all out for Mother's Day and you ain't do jack for Father's Day. It's like, here's another tie. Wear it once. Let me see you wear it. Never again.
So change the piece.
Some of you guys, if you want to go old school, make him the macaroni card again. He'll appreciate it more now. But no, honestly, I'm playful, but But usually Father's Day isn't like a huge day. But if you want to go out for breakfast or brunch, go for it. If you want to treat Dad to a steak dinner, I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Also, you'll be already done your first week of the push, so you'll have the money so you can treat. Yeah, good.
You should change Sunday's PSP from 12 to 4.
Yeah, so that meeting we're going to do 12 to 4. Now, if you come to us and you're like, hey, I definitely can't do anything on Sunday, that's okay. Don't drop that on me the day before, right? But if that's the case, we'll work something else out where you come in on Saturday or Monday instead. We're willing to work with you, but I did want to make that adjustment because I figured some of you guys would want to do a dinner with that. And so we just made that adjustment to be able to accommodate you guys without making a sacrifice on your paycheck. Is that cool for you guys? Love it. All right, so couple final things here. Home stretch. Number one, this is our division meeting promo. So you guys already know, you've heard about this a bunch of times already, but we're bringing in all 20 teams from Maryland, DC, Delaware, North Virginia, and West Virginia. We have a couple Hall of Famers who are going to be there. And part of the objective is like the SLDM, but like 10 million times the size of the sun compared to the SLDM. The objective there, number one, is to give you a chance to build your network and expand your circle of influence. And everybody there sells knives. It's not weird. It's not weird. But a lot of those people are business majors. And if you want to meet other people in the business and entrepreneur world, you'll meet them there. Some of those people are engineers. We have a surprising number of engineers, more than you would expect. And if you're in the engineering field, right, I have a couple people that I know specifically that are looking to go into like military intelligence or looking to go into civil engineering and building roads. I know some people are trying to design the cars of the future. I have one guy I know, he's working on building hoverboards for real, like in real life, which she does that. I would buy one, right? Been waiting since like Back to the Future, waiting on my hoverboard. But anyway, so there's all different people there with all different backgrounds, and you get a chance to expand your network and expand your circle of influence. You also get a chance to meet the management team. And for those of you, a couple of you have already asked me about, hey, how do I get into management? Well, we're bringing all of our assistant managers, right? Some of them are newly promoted. Some of them have been assistant managers for 1 or 2 years already. You're going to meet our branch managers, people who started last summer as a sales rep running their own ice cream truck, right, for the summer. And if you're curious about that, actually, my guy Charlie is going to be speaking at the event, but you'll get to meet all 10 of them. Right? And then you also get to meet Kate Vassy. Make sure you shake her hand. It's a $38 million handshake. Also, she's freaking phenomenal, isn't she?
She's great.
Phenomenal. And then here's what's cool. So that's what you get. The top 10 sales reps at this meeting, this started yesterday. So also, by the way, Jesse Eiler, as well as he did his first weekend, doesn't count. It's from yesterday up until Monday. The top 10 sales reps from yesterday to Monday will win a trophy. Okay? And it's not going to be like an SEC type trophy. Those things are like, right? You get a trophy for doing your job. It's cool. And then the top 4 district offices, and we should definitely get one because we can't like get beat, you know? Actually, I'll just tell you, truth be told, this business is landing off. We usually aim for number 2. We aim for number 2. Not that I enjoy being the first loser. It makes me feel aggressive. But Kate Vassy has 5 CSPs on our team. She's got Ian Connors, Evelyn Comer, Colleen Rippey, Kristen Brindley, and one more who's really good, but I've blanked on their name. She's got 5 of them. We're just not in that arena, so she can just take her number 1. She cheated for it. I'm just kidding. I get aggressive. I get it. I'm sorry. I apologize for my whole self. But we're just not in that category. So we go for like right behind them. But we don't want the new rookie noobs. We love them. We want them to do well. We just don't want them to beat us.
What's the location?
In Baltimore. The Red Lion Hotel. Yeah. We'll carpool, so if you just meet us here, we'll carpool anyway. And then there's a drawing that if you show up with 10 appointments booked, which everybody on the Alliance should 100% do, you're in a drawing to get a $100 handshake. So when you shake Kate Vassy's hand, then it's a $38 million and $100 handshake.
So if you just what?
Show up with 10 appointments,
Okay.
you're in a drawing to win $100 cash.
Okay.
And then she'll handshake the $100 in your hand, and it's a $38 million. I'm okay. It's fine. Here's the agenda. I'm going to cover this very briefly because it's all good. 5 appointments, you get into a drawing for a free Cutco product, and then 10 appointments, you're in a drawing for $100 cash. What you're going to get there is Kate Vassy is going to open the meeting. She'll talk about the vision and what we're building and where we're going. And she'll also show you, by the way, what things you can aim for that not only are achievements and accomplishments in Vector, but also go on your resume to build up your experience for the future. So she'll lay out exactly what that looks like and give you some things you can shoot for and what that looks like when you put it on your resume. We'll recognize our top sales. Ian Connors, $1.3 million in sales, Hall of Fame, is going to be showing you how to sell sets. I already leaked this to a couple of you, but he presents an $8,000 set to every single customer he shows. He sells 1 to 2 of them a month. And even the people that don't buy it, because they're starting with an $8,000 offer, even after he drops down, he's landing in the $1,000 and $2,000 and $3,000 range all the time. And he sells an average of $10,000 to $15,000 a week when he's not traveling. Last time I talked to him, he was in Guatemala. And he was answering the phone while he was in Guatemala. Weird. But he was like, I can't really talk right now. It's Guatemala. But when he's in town and working, man, he's dropping like 10, 15 grand a week consistently. So he'll show you exactly how he does that. Kate's buying food for everybody, which is awesome. Then DeGogo is going to teach you how to build a huge client list. You'll get some nuggets from that. You'll get some stuff you haven't learned from me, although the goal is that you've already done it by that time. But you'll get some extra stuff from him that I'm not teaching. Colin James is our North Baltimore manager. And Leah Rock started with him last summer. She's running her own branch office this summer. And they're going to be talking about how to make the phone easier, which you guys already know. Everybody hates the phone. It's the part of the job that's like, ugh. Right? They'll talk about how to make that easier and a more enjoyable process. By the way, Leah Rock made $15,000 last summer as a sales rep. And she'll be talking to you personally. Here's how I sucked it up and did the thing. Let's see. Then we have our branch managers. We have Lydia Francis, Charlie Graney. Oh, I knew Charlie was on there. I didn't even know Kayla. That's exciting. 2 of them are mine. Children. Teeny boppers, right? Yeah. I just talked about Kayla. That's 12 pushes. Yeah. So there's 3. We'll be talking about their experience, and then I'll be talking about the summer elevation conference to wrap things up. So that is what you're going to get. I want to share this short video directly from Kate Vassie, where she's going to personally give you all the invitation.
Hi, DC Metro Impact Team. This is Caitlin Vassie, your division manager, and I want to say congratulations on just closing out our best week of the summer so far. Thank you so much for all the fantastic work, and we are off to an even stronger start so far this week. I'm sending out this quick video because I am reaching out to personally invite you to our very first division meeting of the summer. It will take place this Monday, June 10th from 11 to 3:15 at the Red Lion North Baltimore Hotel in Lutherville, Timonia. You and your teams are invited, and all 20 of our locations in DC Metro will come together for the very first time in 2019. This is a very special event. We only do it a couple times throughout the year, and this happens to be one of those special days coming up on Monday. 10 of our district managers, 10 of our branch managers, one of our CSPs, our Cutco sales professionals, several of our assistant managers, and myself, the division manager, will be in attendance for a fantastic event on Monday. We've got a fire lineup for you guys, and the goal here is to pour into you, to recognize you. We'll be recognizing all of your sales for this entire week, starting on Tuesday, June 4th, going all the way up until the division meeting, Monday, June 10th. We'll recognize the top 10 representatives from this week with trophies, our top 5 branch teams, and our top 5 district teams. We want to love on you, recognize you. We've got some cool prizes, things up for grabs on Monday when we get to see you, and can't wait to celebrate our top performers this week. We also have some exciting skill set and learning opportunities on Monday. We have special keynote speaker Ian Connors, who's personally over $1.3 million in Cutco sales, started selling just like you guys, going through the Cutco presentation and training while he was a recent graduate and college student. He'll be giving the goods and selling more Cutco sets. We have DeGogo Edievole on building an amazing client list, our Howard County District Manager, and #1 district manager this past week, Colin James, on crushing the phones and so much more. We've got a great lineup. with really the intention that you are continuing to get better at the job, that it makes things easier, you're making more income. Of course, this is a fantastic resume opportunity of adding to your resume or attending a professional conference of a $250 million marketing company. The networking opportunities, you get to meet the rest of the squad, and so much more. This event on Monday, our division meeting, will officially kick off our Summer Elevation Conference push. This is going to be our biggest competition period so far of the year that will begin as we conclude at 3:15 on Monday. We've got some announcements of some awesome prizes that will take place the next couple of weeks, some exciting competition, and this will be our official kickoff to the summer. So it's only appropriate that our theme for Monday's division meeting is summer vibes. So wear your professional attire, but add some summer flair to it, some flavor with your shades, florals, pastels. We're gonna have a great event. This week we're in right now is a 1-week challenge period. This is about building momentum, having your best week of the summer so far. The most number of demos you've completed, the most number of orders you've submitted so far, and your biggest sales week, biggest paycheck. I can't wait to meet you on Monday, and for our familiar faces, see you guys again for our awesome DC Metro Division meeting. Have an awesome rest of your week. I can't wait to celebrate on Monday, June 10th from 11 to 3:15. See you there.
It's lit.
Great.
Go away. You don't need to anymore. There we go. All right, last thing I'm going to show you here. This is last year's, okay? But for the SEC push, we always give away extra trophies and awards and prizes. This is last year's. I don't have the new ones for this year yet. I will get them. I just want this off my TV. It's really all I want in my life, kids. Sorry, just want this off my TV. Go away. Don't need you. All right, so this is last year's prizes. They're going to announce the new ones on Monday, and I will find out this year's as soon as you do. Just to give you an idea, right, of what we've done in the past. So again, it's a 2-week push, $2,000. You get a book written by somebody. We always have, by the way, Vector people are some of the most prolific authors in the world. So you get a book written by somebody, $4,000. You're in the drawing for some kind of Cutco, and you get some kind of recognition letter or letter of recommendation from the region manager, who's over $250 million in sales. Right, add that to the one from the president of the company, add it to the one from me, and you got all your reference letters locked and loaded, right? So you get that, $6,000, you win more Cutco, $8,000 more Cutco. Usually there's some way that you can win Champions Night, so if you didn't win the yacht trip in your fast start, you get another shot at it. I promise that'll be it. I don't know if the level will be 10,000 or if they change it. And then the high levels, we always give away some really cool prizes. So $12,000 last year, won you some electronics. You got your choice of an Amazon Echo, Bose wireless headphones with the noise canceling, or something else. The Bluetooth speaker that's like waterproof and you can take it anywhere. It's amazing. $15,000. Last year, you got tickets up to $200 value to any event that you would choose, or a shopping spree. $25,000, you won the trip, which this year is the Bahamas level. And then the top level, they give away like Nintendo Switch. You can get like sets, homemakers, and signatures, 50-inch smart TV. There's always some really cool swag, and it's all cumulative. And again, everybody it's like the fast start, right? You don't have to be the #1 rep to win it. You win everything up to including your level. And then the trophies. Again, I don't know how many it will be this year. But last year, it was the top 12 sales reps and the top 8 office teams and the #1 district team, which is our branches and our other district combined. So that's it. And then the goal is not just to sell all the knives, not just to elevate, but also to recruit and also train some of you guys into our management team. So I know I talked a lot. It gets me so excited. You guys feeling good? It gets me lit. I know I don't like hearing me talk for an hour either, but hopefully I brought some value to you guys, yeah? So here's what I'd like to do. We're going to switch gears in a moment and get into booking appointments I'm sorry. One last thing. I almost completely forgot. Some of you guys already got this, but I just saw it on my desk and reminded myself that I need to give this to you if you don't have it yet. For those of you on Zoom, we'll get this to you next time you're here. but we just came out this week with some purple Cutco. Number one, it's kind of sexy. It's kind of sexy. And also proceeds from the sale of this go specifically to benefit Alzheimer's research. I was telling Mylan earlier, we always, for the past 3 years, we've done a partnership with the Susan B. Komen, and then every October for the last 3 years, we've come out with pink Cutco. And there are some people that are enthusiasts, like, I'll buy whatever you got in pink. And if it goes to benefit cancer research, that's fine. There are some people who are like, I'll buy whatever you got in pink because it goes to benefit cancer research. And then this is the first time, they didn't even tell us they were doing this. It showed up on the website one day and we're like, what? And then I got this in the mail yesterday or the day before. So I don't know exactly where you would promote that. I'd kind of recommend putting it in your blue book toward the beginning. And if your customers are interested, we're giving $50,000 to Alzheimer's research, even if we sold 0 purple things. And then 10% of the sale of the purple things automatically goes to benefit that as well, which is really cool. I do love that that's a thing that we do as a company. So that was the real last thing. Sorry for tricking you guys twice. What I'd like to do is switch gears into making calls and booking up your appointments for the week. So what I'd like to do here is have you guys do a 2 warm-up phone calls with each other. If I can put Mylan and Ron together, if I can put James and Gage together, and then if I can get Kayla and Trey and Sergio, if you guys can be a trifecta together. But I'd like you to practice whatever script you're going to be using tonight. Okay, so if you're calling, most of you guys are using the acquaintance approach. That's like the go-to for the most part. But if you have a high school directory, we have a high school script. If you have your neighborhood directory, we have the neighborhood script. If you have a church directory, we have the church script. So I'd like you to pair up with your partner, practice it 2 times each to do warm-up calls, warm up the vocal cords, and work out the kinks. Also, the 2 of you guys on Zoom, if you can practice with each other, that would be awesome. So look at your partner, look at your list, and get your phone approach out. If you need a copy of it, I've got them on the desk here.
Would you like to go first?
Pick an A and a B for each pair, or an A, a B, and a C for the trifecta. A, raise your hand. Point at B and said, I'm going to call you.
Thank you.
Alexa, unpause.
What's your name?
Hey, John, I have a question.
Yes.
Would I have gotten the other script any other time?
Hi, is this Gage?
You don't have it yet, but I can send it to you.
Okay, for sure.
This is James.
Do me a favor. It's a little noisy over here, but if you can send me a chat